Hello, and welcome back to Code in 5 Minutes with ZIM. I'm Dr. Abstract, and in this Code in 5 Minutes, we're going to take a look at a carousel in 3D. So let's go to the ZIM site now at zimjs.com, and we will prepare for that. Let's see, we'll go to the code section here. We'll hit copy the template. We'll come to an editor, and we're using VS Code, and we will paste it in, and we will say Carousel 3D. This is new in ZIM 018, so we brought in ZIM 018 right there. And Code in 5 Minutes is when we code something in 5 minutes, we won't need a circle. And I don't know, we're going to make a carousel, and that is one of those things where it has a bunch of items, and you can swipe through the items. Perhaps we'll add in indicator at the bottom and some arrows so that we can see what that looks like if we have time. The other thing is, I don't really want to count it as part of our coding, but we got a bunch of book covers that we're going to bring in for this example. And so we'll put those right in here. Const pages, I guess, is equal to, and we will have an array of these here that we'll go out and get, and those are all going to be in the Code in 5 Minutes. We're sitting in Code in 5 Minutes here, so the 5 directory, and that will all be in quote covers, I believe it was called there. Oh, and pages. All right, so we bring in the assets. And we bring in the covers, but we don't know what the assets are yet. We do have a tool. Do you want to see the tool? I want to see the tool because I don't want to have to type all these assets in within our 5 minutes. That's what it all boils down to. So under Tools here, if we go Tools, there's the Asset List tool right here. And we can go to a folder there. They all are in 5 covers right there. And here are their covers. And we select them like so and hit Open. And what that does is it pastes it into the tool there. There they are, the assets. Whoop. Copy those. And we can put them right in here. I think that's the array. So now we have an array of a bunch of covers. All right, that's where we'll start. So put your code here. Is that all right? That's kind of like, I don't think I could have typed all those things in 5 minutes. I'm not sure. Maybe. But isn't that handy to have that little tool? Exciting, huh? So, what shall we do now? We've got to start the timer. I haven't done a Code in 5 minutes in a little while. Last one was a coloring book, I think. That was fun. And one before that was a little mini map, it was called, and had lots of likes. Okay, so the timer. Where do we find the timer? That's out here, and we can hit Start. And wish us luck. Do you see a timer going? Hopefully you do. Oh no, there it's going already. All right, so the carousel. Const carousel is equal to a new carousel 3D, like that. And we're going to pass it some dimensions, 700 by 500. That will guide all of the items. It will actually size the items to fit within that area, and we're going to pass in the pages. Luckily, pages we can pass in strings, and they'll be converted automatically to pictures, so that's good. And we'll dot center that and see if we have our carousel. Okay, view this in a browser. Oh, we do. Hey, there we are. Done. Code in 5 minutes. 53 seconds. There's our carousel. But I thought maybe we could put it against black as well. I thought maybe we could add some arrows to that. So why don't we add some arrows? But nice, huh? Put that against black. Set it darker. And some arrows then. What would arrows look like? We would make a new arrow. But isn't that a nice carousel? Do you like that? We'll dot pose this arrow at 50, 0 from the right, center. And when we tap on it, we will call this arrow function. Am I still within the 5 minutes? Carousel.next. So this is one on the right hand side. Now let's test that out and see if it does indeed go to the next. There's our arrow, and it does. Okay, so we've called the next, and you can imagine that we can do that with the previous as well. But we've got to rotate our arrow around there. This will be on the left, and we rot 180, and that will go prev. And we test that up, and we've got a prev arrow, and it goes prev. All right, so we got next and prev. How about indicators? Can we get some indicators down at the bottom? Although I really claim that we're already done. They're already done. Yay! New indicator. We might want to update the indicator as we swipe, so we'll put that in here. Const indicator is equal to a new indicator. What will the indicator have? We need to know the num, and that will be however many we had in pages there, dot length. And oops, not that. We'll also make it interactive, but it just sort of depends on what we want to do. If we want to make it interactive, we can. We'll see, but we can go dot pose this 0 from the center. How far up? Say 50 up from the center, and from the bottom. Usually indicators go on the bottom. And then when we change, or when this indicator changes, we can call this arrow function. And in there we'll say the carousel. Oh, this is if it's interactive. No, I guess, let's see, we want, what do we want? So when we change the indicator, yeah, this would be if it's interactive. And on the other hand, if we change the carousel, so up here, dot change, we do both of these. So when we change the carousel, we'll call this arrow function. How are we doing for time? 340. And in here, we can set the indicator dot index, I suppose. Index is equal to the carousel dot index. If they're both the same like that, we could have also wired those together. And let's see what happens. So we haven't made the indicator interactive yet, but sure enough, when I change this, the indicator is going. And when I change that, the indicator goes. So that's good. All right. That's pretty nice, huh? I mean, we could do the interactive on the other side, but I don't want the stresses. Let's see. So when we change the indicator, we got the pages to go to the indicator side. Is that very easy to do? I guess it would be carousel. I shouldn't have wasted all that time. Carousel dot go to the indicator dot index. Okay, and we'll pause that timer. How do we pause the timer? I don't know where we're at on the timer. Stop. Oh, I stopped it, which meant, oh, well, whatever. If I stop it, then I can't see the time anymore. But I think we still had 15 seconds, and all I really needed to do was indicator.index. I could have done that in 15 seconds for sure. All right, yeah, that's great. Okay, let's take a look at that. Can't find the docs here, or the page here. So that was an attempt to make it, oh, we haven't set the indicator in interactive. I could have done that too. So there's the indicator, there's the nums. It would have just been interactive, : true. There we go. And now we can press on that. That would have been tight, right on the 5 minutes. All right, that works pretty well, but take a look. The indicator goes immediately when we press, and then it sort of follows along as this animates in. That's because as this changes its number, it's going to the right place. So when that happened in the latest version of ZIM 018, we realized that, okay, perhaps we need to be able to set something in the indicator to avoid that from happening. Because by default, as soon as we press on that, the indicator goes to that number. It tells it to go to here, but this animates to get there. You can also make the what's this thing called again? Carousel 3D go immediately to a value, but usually you want sort of the animation to appear there so it looks like it's turning to it. That's usually the better thing. So we did make the indicator sort of delay the lights. So that was one of the settings, comma. Let's change some settings here as well. That would be delay lights : true. And that's better, but I think it ends up toggling the first one. No, that's good. Okay, that looks nice. You see that? So it's delayed setting the light there. Let's change those lights to the same color as the buttons too. So that would be a foreground color of blue. Foreground color (blue). And let's have a look. So this was a code in 5 minutes. Code in 5 minutes plus. Nice, huh? So there we go. That's set. The indicator's making it go. The arrows are making it go. That is pretty neat, isn't it? I love it. So, good. What do you think of the indicator? I mean, it's okay. It could be a bit smaller and maybe have more space in between. So we can set things like that if we make it have a width of 400. So the width will determine the spacing. And let's see if that creates a bigger spacing. So that makes some more spacing. The height will control the numbers. Actually, we probably could have left it the same and just set the height to something smaller. HEIGHT to, I don't know what the default was on the height. Let's have a look. Yeah, maybe make it 40. Could be, yeah, whatever. Anyway, that's just sort of playing around with it. Probably the default was 50 on the height of that. Yeah, that's good. All right, big enough to press and spaced out a little bit more. They are almost exactly the same size as the book. I mean, you could always just set the scale of that too. So we could have gone .sca 0.8, and that would have brought that down, or will bring it down into a bit. Yeah, that fits inside that book a little bit better. And then perhaps bring it, now that it's scaled a bit smaller, we'll bring that up a bit. So 70 maybe? What do you think? Yeah, perfecto. All right, I am Dr. Abstract, and this has been a code in 5 minutes with ZIM. Yeah. So tell all your friends, and get coding with ZIM. It's a lot of fun. You probably can't hear me. Come to the forum, zimjs.com, zimjs.com/forum, zimjs.com/discord. See you then. Cheers.